Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Code with Abhi. This is the fourth video, and in this video we will cover Java variables and primitive data types. This is a very simple topic and it is easy to understand, so it will not take much time. So let me tell you the definition of variable first. In Java, variables are temporary element which are used to store data temporarily that can be manipulated within the program. Okay, now let's see our actual running program. Okay, so here I have created one class variable and data type class name and then one main method. Okay, now let's see each variable type. So there are multiple types of variable in Java. One is a non-static or instance variable, then we have static and class level variable, then we have a local variable and parameterized variable. So let's first see instance variable, which is very important. So what I had done, I have created one instance variable, variable name instance variable, and with some, let me first as without any value. Okay, and also I have given it some type, int type. Okay, in Java variable must have some type. It cannot be declared without any type. Okay, so like any other JavaScript language, we can declare variable without any type. But here we must have type for any variable. Okay, so that's why I had declared variable with type int. Okay, now let's try to access this instance variable uh, in our main method. Okay, so what I'll do, I will create one system.out.println. Let me comment this part also and try to directly access this variable. Okay, in main method. Now let's see what will happen. First let's compile the program. Okay, now it will give an error. What is the error? Non-static variable instance variable, which is our variable name, cannot be referred from static constant. Okay, so what does this mean? This is our non-static variable and we cannot directly access this non-static variable from static method. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to access this variable from some non-static constant. So every class has some object. Okay, we have to create some object. So now let's try to create a object of a class. So what I'll do, I'll create one object of a class name, then reference variable name, variables. Okay, and then new keyword and class name. So this is how we create a object. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll try to access this variable with this instance variable name. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Compile successfully. Now try to run this program. Okay, so it will print 0. What does it means? When we create a object reference variable, the instance variable will also get memory in object in heap area. Okay, in heap area, whatever we learn in our JVM architecture. So instance variable get memory in heap area with default value. So that's why it will print value as 0. Now let me assign it with some value 7. Now let's see what happen. Okay, 7 will be print. There is another way we can access this instance variable using this keyword. This keyword refers to current class reference variable. Okay, we will see this keyword in details in another class, but let's see what will happen if we try to access this variable using this keyword. Let me first save this. Okay, this keyword cannot be referred from static context, so this we have to use this keyword in non-static method only. Okay, so we cannot do that here. Now another one thing, I have created another object reference variable with 1. Okay, and try to print same thing with different variable name. Okay, so what I have done here, I have created two objects. with variables and variables 1, and each reference variable is trying to print variable name, this variable name. Okay, let's see what will happen. Compiled successfully. So each will print same number. So is that mean both will access the same variable, or both have its own copy? Let's see by changing the value of this variable, instance variable name. So what I'll do, I will uncomment this part, set variable name, and then what I'll do, I will this. Here we have to use this keyword because we cannot directly access this variable with direct name. We have to use this keyword. This keyword represent the current class reference variable. Okay, and then we will assign this variable to this value. So what I'll do, I will try to modify value of that instance variable with one object reference variable only, 5. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to modify object instance variable value with respect to the reference variable of first object, and second object is not doing anything. So let's see what will happen. Okay, now you can see both print different value. What does it mean? It means when object is created in heap area, instance variable gets its own copy in each object heap area. Okay, so when I try to modify the reference variable or instance variable with one object reference, it will not affect the other object reference variable. Okay, and also this keyword, we can use this keyword from non-static method name. Okay, so this is instance variable or a non-static variable. Now let's see static variable. So same class I am using. Okay, just what I'm doing, I'm creating one static variable with type int and with keyword static. So this is a static variable which we also called as a class level variable. Now let me try to access this variable directly. What will happen? Let's say compile successfully and also print with default value. So what does it mean? It means static variable or class level variable is accessible to class, and it does not require any object reference variable to initialize its value. We can access static variable from anywhere. Okay, now let's try to access this static variable from non-static method. So let me create one variable, set variable or print variable, print variable. Okay, without any parameter, and one print statement. Let me comment this part. What I'll do, I will make it a static. Okay, so now I will call this method and try to check if that can access this variable. Okay, print variable. Okay, now here what we are doing, we are calling this method from main method. As is the static method, we can directly call without any reference variable, and here we are trying to print static variable. Okay, now let's see what happens. A static variable will print its value. Okay, so it means we can also access static variable in from anywhere inside a class. Now let me try to access this variable. Also let me give some initialize the value. We can initialize value using equal to keyword. It means 7 will be assigned to this variable, like this in non-static variable also. So what I have done, I have created one non-static method, and I will try to call that non-static method with the reference object. Okay, and in that non-static method I am trying to print static variable. Okay, so non-static method, we cannot directly call non-static method, we have to use object reference variable for that. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Here we are printing only, yeah, 7. It means we can access no static variable in non-static method also. Okay, so that's why it is called class level variable. Now what I'll do, I will try to, let me change this variable name, set static variable. Okay, which is a non-static method, and here int I'll pass one parameter. This is a parameter variable, whatever we pass in our method, inside this bracket, it will be called as parameter variable. Okay, so what I will do, I will try to modify this static variable with variable. Okay, so here what I have done, I have created two objects, one is variable, second is variable 2, and from first variable, a reference variable, I will pass another value 5 and then try to modify this static variable. I will print value with reference to both reference variable object. So from this static variable dot static variable and variable 2, I will try to print directly. Okay, so here what I have done, our static variable is created with default value, then I have created one object with reference variable. From that variable where I have passed some value, and then I'm trying to update this static variable with that variable name for that reference variable. Okay, now again I have created another object reference variable, and here I'm trying to print that static variable with reference to this both object reference variable, and also trying to print static variable directly. Now let's see what will happen. It will print 3 times. Clear, compile successfully. Okay, now you can see all three print statement print same value. What does it means? When I try to create variable, static variable, it will initialize with 7 in method area. After that, I have created one object and then updated that static variable with object reference variable. So what it will do, it will not create another memory in heap area in that object. It will modify the value in method area only. Static variable has only one copy. It will not depend on object. Okay, it has only one copy. That's why when I updated the variable with object reference variable, it will reflect on every object reference variable. Okay, so it means it will maintain only one copy at class level in method area. Okay, this is called static variable. Now let's see local variable. This is parameter variable we have seen already. Now let's see local variable. So what I have done, I have created one local variable inside main method. Okay, and let me comment this method. Now what I'll do, just create one variable without assigning any value and try to print that value, local variable. Okay, this is also, let me comment this part. No static variable, no instance variable, only local variable I have created and just trying to print this local variable. What will happen? Let's see. It will give compile time error local variable must have been initialized. It means local variable must initialize with some default value. JVM will not initialize with any default value. Okay, so we have to initialize it directly first. So let me initialize it with 7. Now let me try to compile successfully. Okay, it will also print value. Now let me create one object, try to access that variable with that object reference variable. Okay, now what it will say, cannot find symbol. So it means this local variable is only to this method. It is not referred to object. So when we create instance variable, this instance variable create its copy in object reference variable. But this local variable will not create its copy in object inside heap area. It will be accessed inside this method only. We cannot access this local variable using object reference variable name. Okay. So it means we can use this local variable inside this method only directly. Okay, and manipulate that variable. So this is local variable. So these are the type of variable that we have covered. One is instance variable, then we have static variable or class level variable, then we have parameterized variable, its scope is also at method level. Then we have local variable. Scope of local variable is inside method only, and we can access it directly inside that method. We cannot access it using reference variable, object reference variable name. Okay, now let's say data type. First let's say primitive data type. These are data type and its range. So there are like 8 primitive data type: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. And these are the range of for each data type. Like if we are defining our variable with byte, it can hold till this range only. Same with short, it can hold this range of values. Okay, so each variable have a range. That's why we have 4 different type of number variable type, because each type holds only specific range of values. Okay, then we have float and double. The difference between float and double is f. If we define any float variable, we have to add f at the last to mark it as float variable, otherwise it will consider as double. Then we have character. Any variable which define it single quote with single character data type. Then we have boolean will hold true and false value. So these are primitive data type. Then we have reference data type. Reference data type are nothing but class type. So when we create any variable which has type as some class which are breakable, this is called reference variable. So here you can say this is also reference variable, string is also reference variable, array list is also reference variable. So these are the reference variable. So this is variable and data type topic that we have covered today. If you have any question, then comment your question. I'll try to reply that. If you like the video, then like, follow and subscribe the channel. Also, I will share this class and the PDF of last class in Git repository, and I'll share the link on description. Okay, thank you.